Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. I'm here with Kelly doing a workout on a 0.7 mile wall averaging 12%. Our workout is a high intensity interval training type of workout. Specifically, it's 20 seconds at max effort and 40 seconds easy. Well, easy as you can do going up a 12% grade. Pretty quickly, this devolved into a mano-a-mano race going up what we call the fire station wall. Kelly is a strong rider. He's 125 pounds, 50 years old. I'm at 167 pounds this day, 63 years old. At this point of this up-the-wall race, I have the advantage. The question is, will I still have the advantage toward the end of this climb? Previous to our little workout race that you're seeing now, we had ridden an hour up an undulating climb, and then we did another hour workout on an 8 mile, 6.5% climb. As I'm heaving up a lung as Kelly leapfrogs past me, I'll give you an update on my Afib situation. A few weeks ago, I had done a 53-minute time trial up that same 8-mile climb that I was talking about previously. I was quite pleased with my time. That was on a Sunday. That night, I didn't sleep well at all, maybe 2 or 3 hours. It still was good enough to go to work. I went to work that Monday. I made sure that I slept during lunch. Tuesday, I did a 90-minute endurance ride, and then on Wednesday morning, as I was getting ready for work, my heart started accelerated to about 120 beats per minute. It stayed there for about 1 or 2 minutes. After that, it dialed back into an Afib pattern. Great, I'm in Afib again. This time, rather than go back to the doctor and get zapped, cardioverted, they had given me some pills, calcium channel blocker pills. So I took a couple of those pills as I was directed in case of going back into Afib again, and then I just went to work. I still had Afib, but after a couple hours, the Afib went away and I went back into regular sinus rhythm. Now, I was kind of zapped for most of the day. I just stayed at my desk and just did my work. Those pills definitely have an effect on your heart. During lunch, I slept in the car, and then by the end of the day, when I went home, I was feeling much better. The next day I did another 90-minute endurance ride, and I was feeling back to normal. Back to the workout race. You'll notice that each time that Kelly leapfrogs past me, he goes a little farther each time, and that means that's a lot more distance I have to make up when I do my acceleration. The advantage that I had is quickly going away. I'm needing more and more time to recover between accelerations, but I really can't afford the time because that's more distance that I have to make up to Kelly. Soon that rubber band's going to break. As I'm doing my voiceover for this video, I can still feel the pain in my body, so let's go to some questions that I've gotten from my viewers. The questions that I have are basically all the same question. I'm an older rider, I'm doing long distance, what can I do to prevent from getting Afib in the future? Like you, Cycling Greek. Okay, I just threw that part in, but it was certainly inferred. My answers to all these questions are pretty much the same. No one knows what causes Afib. There is certainly data out there to indicate that athletes that do long-term, long-distance type of cycling are more susceptible to this. Cut away to the screen. On this particular acceleration, I couldn't even make it up to Kelly. My only hope now is that during my easy spin phase that I stay close enough to Kelly so that I can get him on the next round. Back to the questions. First thing is, make sure you get enough sleep. That is the first of 3 important tenets that you need to stick to. The second is, only work out when it will give you an advantage to do that particular workout. I have this one client that rides to work about 4 days a week, and it's a total of 12 miles a day, no big deal. But on the weekends, he's going about 120 miles each day, and he ends up with about 19,000 feet of climbing for those 2 days. He doesn't need to do that second day of big riding. I say this because I know that his main events that he competes in are double centuries. They're not multi-day events. My suggestion in that case would be just ride on Saturday and not on Sunday. The third and final and equally important tenet is stay away from stimulants, and that includes caffeine. That includes coffee. Caffeine causes hormonal changes and acts on the heart, and that's the critical point in this particular discussion. The body doesn't know what type of stress that you're under. It just knows stress. You could be drinking caffeine or walking down the street around the corner and all of a sudden you see a T-Rex. Granted, if you see a T-Rex, it'll be like drinking 10 cups of coffee, but the point is, the same mechanisms will happen. The body will react the same way. Back to the screen. The rubber band isn't broken, but it certainly is stretched to my 42-pound lighter fellow competitor. As I'm breathing like a racehorse, all I'm thinking about is what I can do to crawl back up to him and get him before we get to the top. Back to the questions. So to summarize my advice, 1. Get enough sleep. 2. Only work out when that workout is going to benefit you. And 3. Stay away from caffeine and other stimulants. In my case, for years I've been pushing the sleep envelope, burning candles on both ends. I love to work out. Even when I shouldn't have worked out, I worked out. I'd never done any caffeine until the last 9 months before my first Afib incident. Back to the screen. That rubber band is all but gone, and I'm still trying to do what I can to catch him. As I round this flat 7-8% corner, I see the stop ahead sign. I can see Kelly in the distance, and I'm still thinking, okay, I got some legs, I can catch him on my last acceleration, and I'm going to save it for that. I always think I have more legs than I actually have. Still, I have 1 bullet left, 1 last acceleration, and I'm going to fire it when I think best. As I prepare to start my last acceleration, hope springs eternal. I know I can do this, even though Kelly is closer to the finish than he is to me. You can see Kelly in front of me, and the stop sign finished at the very top. I still think I can increase my speed up to 20 miles an hour up this 11% plus finishing climb. Ah, blissful overconfidence. Nothing like it. Well, as you can see, reality is hit, and now I'm just crawling up to the top. Kelly is already finished, and I'm just limping in. Well, at least this was a great workout. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment. Remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.